The greater your weight, the slower you'll travel. Biggest fucking lie in the entire game. Anyway, greetings, dear suckers. My name's Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved, and welcome back to Sunless Rewritten. I always get a kick out of seeing that little loading screen thing saying, oh, the greater your weight, the slower you'll travel. Yeah, by a few measly percent. It's literally that small of a difference. It's nothing at all. Like that tiny ship that has like 10 weight or 100 weight or whatever it is, barely goes a few percentage points faster than this. Or even the massive frigate. It's hilarious. It's not... and I'm talking about vanilla Sunless Sea. I don't think this mod actually changes that. Much less for the worse. It's... I don't know why they did that. Anyway. What were we doing? Oh, yes. We were going back to the Crying Heights. Now that we've seen all there is to be seen at the moment in the arms of the machine, there's still one other thing that we can't do yet, but that's tied to that. Oh, shit. Oh look, another crab. Yeah, sure. Wow, this one's even weaker than the one I saw earlier. Although if that ship comes in to save it, that might make the difference. Is there honor between Z pirates and Z beasts? Probably not, but there is coincidence. I sure hope my voice sounds fine, because I keep running into weird issues with that. Kind of drifting towards the Kraken chute here, but oh well. You are being watched. Yeah, but the thing I just shot. And you destroyed a choleric angler crab. There is an ancient anger on the Z. The slapping of waves against a shattered, sinking shell whistles, flute-like. The song of that growing rage into the air. Your violence will beget more in kind. Good. Violence is fun. Anyway, record any observations. Once you've gathered enough, you may learn something. What treasures lie among the natural world? A deadly ballet. The angler's bulk moved with impossible grace and speed. You've learnt a good many tricks here today, although many of them are inappropriate for your ship, unless you can fit it with jointed limbs or an organic hydraulic predation system. And I wouldn't put it past the engineers on the Untersee. Got some bestial observations. What is it? And it just respawned right in front of me. Funny. And that's the silliness that can happen when you cross these little semi-invisible borders. Huh? A death-like sleep. One of your crew will not wake. Her breaths are shallow, her eyes wide. The rest will not go near. Join your crew in a silent vigil? Will silence help? Will anything? Have your surgeon watch over her. If nothing else, you'll gain a better understanding of her condition. Sadly, I can't use a pinch of spice on her. The anathema to cosmic horrors? Slapstick. Alas. A grimly shaken head. The news comes swiftly. She woke. Who's my surgeon again? You, right. She woke briefly. She wanted you to know she's with Shade now, and that she's happy. Then she was gone. Fun. Where is everyone? Where did they go? They're here. They're here. They're not alone. Where is... Oh, it's kind of hard to tell where the center of this bloody beast is. Reminds me of the, this one enemy in... Blightfall. The, Taint Swarm, it's called. Oh my, you're fast. That's concerning. Damn! Uh-oh. This could go badly very quickly. Damn it! Even at full power, Ah, shit. Come on, damn you. Gotta be careful about that. I don't know what kind of ship that is. Pirate frigate, maybe? Come on, die already! Ah, it's gonna take 2 more shots. Fuck! Damn, lost a crew. God, you're fast. Okay. But we got a heart. Harvest a heart. I'll only need 1, the noxious butcher promises. Heart obtained, and 18 royal blue feathers. Neat. Light as a thought and jewel bright. Miraculously, for once the butcher works quickly, picking up the largest bird and absconding with it. Can't be picky with birds, she says by way of non-explanation, or else they get picky with you. Whatever that means. Well, that could have gone better. Oh well. Let's see. Enter the manufactory. The mighty structure is half church, half something else. It seems you're expected. The monks at the gate give you frosty, silent smiles. They part to allow your entry. Frosty, that's the second time I've seen something described that way. It's as finely decorated as any place of worship. The stained glass windows are covered in wax, but the ample supply of candles provides sufficient illumination. The air stinks of blood. Follow a monk. His skin is as pale and featureless as snow. Ritual reincarnation. The Blue Prophets called you here? The monk asks, and returns your hesitant nod. Then we have much to discuss. Follow. Past arcane sigils and fierce guards, you descend into the catacombs of the temple. As in a wine cellar, hundreds of amber bottles are stored in grooves in the clay wall, though you have a sickly suspicion of their true contents. Once, I was like you, the wax monk tells you. An eager Londoner, called to death by the Blue Prophets. I was without hope, until I came to Crying Heights. He gestures above. The coastal waxwinds carry life-giving lacquer from the south, from the mysteries beyond reality's edge. After I died, my blood was mixed with the wax, and I was reborn into this new body, all my memories intact. This is the same opportunity that I offer you now. A second chance at life. A taste of immortality. A chance to live again after death? You're fully on board. Would a copy of yourself built from your blood really be you? Well, that gets into some very weird territory with some very, very silly philosophy. But more importantly, moreover, are you certain that this Blue Prophets angle isn't a scam? I've been going around for ages and I still haven't died. The price of immortality. The monk listens to your concerns calmly. Perhaps this will ease your mind, he tells you. If you have the time, I'd like you to make some deliveries. Meeting other nomen across the Z will give you a better idea of what's on offer. And should you change your mind, you may consider it the first part of your payment to us. Your contact will be waiting for you at the docks. Oh. Okay, I was hoping for something a little more, but sure. Okay. Cargo waits at the docks. You've decided to take the monk up on his offer, or maybe you're just curious to see what it's all about. Your deliveries await. Am I getting paid for this? Because, I mean, I'm perfectly happy to take cargo across the Untersee for pay, but this all seems like silly buggers. And how much? Oh, lacquer. A gnomon. A gnomon? Atop the waiting crates sits an eager wax man in formal dress. Captain, so good to meet you, he cries. I'm anxious to return home after all this time. But first, you've deliveries to make, Don't worry, I have our itinerary memorized. To Chateau de Sceaux. Does this take up hold space? No. Lacquer doesn't take up hold space. Huh. I'll grab some extra, actually. Just in case I need it. I was thinking about doing that, but I was put off by the fact that by the thought that I would need to use up hold space on it, but no. Okay. Sure then. As long as it's not gonna burden me. Why not? Let's see. Ooh. A dockside tiff. A quarrel on the docks catches your attention. An item has apparently been delivered in an unacceptable condition. Nevertheless, it cannot remain on board the ship. At your curious approach, both parties sigh in relief, shove a bundle of forms in your direction, and declare the issue to be your problem now. Okay, well, I won't say no to 3 Skintalac, I guess. Although that will take up hold space, and I have no idea where to offload this. Wait, actually, I think I can offload it in London, now that I think about it. I mean, I was kind of hoping I could keep my hold space low so that I could go pick up some children from the child factory on my way back, but yeah, I'm sure I'll be fine. Anything else in here? No. Okay. Well, I'm no more convinced that this isn't some sort of strange scam. But okay, let's go. What are you? Recommission. Oh, you're an Admiralty frigate. You're not even hostile. And here I was worried about you joining in on that fight against the Z-Beast. If anything, you would have joined in on my side. I don't think that's a thing that can happen. This game isn't programmed with that in mind, but, you know. In theory. Let's see if I can... I don't know, find Chateau de Sceaux, or however you pronounce that. Huh? Uh-oh. Ah! Let's see. Join your crew in a silent vigil. Damn. Turn up the lights. You stay the longest. Shifts change, bellies rumble, sailors yawn, and one by one they retreat back to their own lives. When you are alone, just you and her, you approach her bed and listen. False light, she whispers. Then she breathes no more. Well, that's a dangerously low amount of crew. If I lose one more, I will be sailing around at half speed. So let's not lose one more, shall we? Ooh, Zatargan's remains. Oh, hello. Not you. Don't have... Could use some fuel, but not at that price. Oops. Prince Azor. Huh? Uh-oh. Okay, phew. Dead gods lie here, locked in battle still. We enter Ozao territory. Isn't that just incomprehensible? I don't know where it starts and where it ends. Prince Azor, the child of a god, slain just the same. This secondary god was kept hidden during the war, literally behind Zatargan's bulk. It was killed by Londoners once its parent died. Attempt to enter the corpse. There is a large Ozao presence here. Stealth will not be an option. Expelled. The Ozao are not particularly aggressive in their manhandling of you, but they are firm. You will not be coming in here today. Here we are, Zatargan's remains. What remains of a dead god, or something that was called one, leastwise. All is not forgotten. Nothing is forgiven. The corpse of the Ozao's great war god. Most of the scaffolding was in place before it was killed. The planks are now rotting, and the guardrails on the wrong side. Burly Ozao skulk and glare down at you from the upper levels, keeping their distance. Hello. Engage an officer, the weary ambassador. Another mariner, another misfortune. Maybe I can help. What is up with your face? First officer increases mirrors and irons. Welcome aboard. Here we go. Time among the Ozao has changed his features, and perhaps more. Indeed. What is up with you? Dine with the weary ambassador. His epaulettes and the medals that form a protective wall in front of his heart, literally or metaphorically, both, I suppose, suggest distinguishment in a difficult and respectable career. Maybe he can teach you a thing. Maybe two things. I am seeking peace, after all. I can't imagine an ambassador not being of aid in that. The warts and deformities he has somehow developed from extended proximity to Ozao perhaps can teach you a few things to avoid. Bone tired. He is able to relax and be honest in front of you, which is a sign he only considers you a superior in some temporary, formal sense. Have you ever felt so tired that it is as if your very bones have turned to stone? He asks, and his question is not rhetorical. Yeah, I have. I haven't had a good night's sleep since 1991. He seems to be looking for someone to tell him it's normal, that he's alright. Now that I can't tell you. It's those Ozao, I say. 2 decades dealing with them. Somehow, unlike many colleagues, they haven't killed me yet. Not literally, at least. There's life in these old bones yet, unfortunately. Could use cheering up. Ha! Wine, naturally. Meditate with me. It's kept me alive in the Ozao lands. Serenity now. You spend some time in quiet contemplation with the ambassador. He guides your breathing, then your thoughts. You come out of the experience a little more ready to face the day. Okay. Witness the gregarious occultist's hydromancy. Uninterested in the giant war beast that Ozao mourn as their lost god, the occultist claims their hydromancy spell will summon the Syrian? I don't know how to pronounce that. They state with amazement that the Syrian is at least half the size of the Targan. The intonation suggests that this is more impressive than if it was larger than the Targan. Interesting. Serene Croin. It apparently feeds exclusively on the elusive midnight whales, whose existence you also doubt, eating 7 for a single meal. Of course it would be 7. I don't know about however you pronounce that, but I do know for a fact that midnight whales are a thing. I've encountered them in Sunless Sea and in Fallen London. Well, kind of in Fallen London. It's debatable if that one was real. But never mind that. Local folklore suggests that the Syrian disguises itself as a silver fish no bigger than a river trout when humans and fishermen find it. Interesting that you separated them, implying that the Ozao probably fish, then. If we can catch the Syrian in its small silverfish form, once aboard it will change back into a monster and try to eat us. This is related as though it would be the most positive of developments. Inside the body, we will learn secrets unknown to man. What kind of secrets? I don't know. You would stop this suicidal summoning. However, even after all you have seen, you feel dubious about so shameless a shattering of Lavoisier's law of conservation of mass. Going from fish to Leviathan size and back so unscrupulously. That would take a bit of doing, yes. After several hours and attempts, a silverfish does appear in your catch, and you start to be concerned. But upon frying it, it tastes the same as any other Z-fish. It was supposed to turn into its giant whale-eating form by now, muses the occultist. I hope we have not killed it. That would be a rather peculiar way to foil our own efforts to discover this mysterious creature. Yes. I doubt it, however. Ooh, Blemigans, the Targan's remains. Are they here? Did I feel like I might have swap those around. Hang on. Nah. Nothing here. Yeah, that does not surprise me. What are you doing? Follow the shadowed servant. He's up to something. Find out what. Misled. You follow him a long while. Here, it is easier to see him, as he stands out against the black slime shine of the Ozao. Though in his dark suit jacket and cap today, he does not stand out as much as you may have hoped. You tail him deep into the Ozao residential areas atop Zitargan's shell. Zitargan? Stargon? Stargon? Is that what it's saying? Is it Stargon, but in Zaylor speech? Stargon. That's a Stargon. What a strange. Then back out to the area by your ship in a loop. Finally, feeling you are being toyed with, you run up and tackle the shadowed servant from behind, to discover you have tackled a diminutive Ozao, dressed in the shadowed servant's usual garb. A most peculiar circumstance. The Ozao you have just tackled is furious, but also awed at your audacity. Your audacity. You have but a moment to decide how to respond. Apologize to the Ozao, it was a simple misunderstanding and you do not wish to be mauled, or tell off the Ozao. It should not have been wearing the shadowed servant's clothes. Well, if it liked my initial audacity, sure. Chelonophobia. Fear of turtles? You swear at the Ozao, berating and blaming, as if it caused you to tackle it. It seems to respect you more now, but still may try to kill you for your offense. Well, you win some, you lose some. Perhaps luckily, before anything can escalate, Zdargon, the giant turtle, the dead god of the Ozao, the great war beast on whom the Ozao came from the eastern lands and on whom you now stand, wakes. Oh, right, of course. The Chelonate was also a Z-turtle carcass, so it stands to reason that this place, which is a replacement for the Chelonate port, would also be a turtle. Yeah, that title makes sense now. Anyway, what's this about it waking? What? Zdargon roars, drowning out the Ozao's persistent, bellicose background brouhaha, which hushes into oblivion. Across the shell, perhaps all across the Z, Ozao inhumanly salute towards Zdargon's sniffing beak and mobile eyes. They join into a collective battle cry. Then, Zdargon's eyes go glassy once more. Its beak motionless, its aliveness plucked. Shit. I have no idea how to voice the Ozao. Some last insult to remind us of our loss. Gabriel is the only one who might be able to do this. We knew Gabriel could not truly be gone. The Ozao you tackled has weightier, more emotional concerns than you now, as do all of its relatives. It does not even remember to seek retribution against you, lost in thought as you sneak away. Who can truly say what is dead or alive? What in the God? What have you been up to, shadowed servant? They say only Gabriel could pull that off. Long dead Gabriel who lies beneath the waves. Is he who you truly serve? Are you he? I don't know. Let's see what we can find out then. Empty. There are no bags. Nothing hanging. Not even any bedding. And you're quite positive your own crew provided the bedding. How in blazes does someone lose their bedding? Why would someone no longer have their bedding? Well, there's the classic thing of making a rope out of tied bed sheets, but why would he need to do that? You may have an hour to snoop, but you won't find much here. Or anything at all, apparently. But then, that is in itself something to find. You examine the room for any possible trapdoors, hidden panels, or any other unrevealed remnants from the servant's stay. You find nothing, except a coiled rope, a blank paper, and fountain pen without any ink. This is about as revealing as if these were not there at all. A coiled rope. Well, he certainly doesn't need a bedsheet rope, then. You've got to get to the bottom of this. We need 3 more fragments of truth to do this. Whatever that will do. Oh. Right, you joined my crew. What have you got to say for yourself? Speak to the traveling gnomon. His waxen features make his expression difficult to read. Dine with the traveling gnomon. He's not part of your crew, only helping out of his own volition. But it is tradition. The life remembered. The gnomon barely eats, preferring to sip from his stock of amber lacquer. I'm a candle maker, he says, then chuckles. No, that's a lie. I own 3 workshops where candles are made. Perhaps it's fitting that now I'm built from wax myself. My daughter will be running the business in my absence. I'm sure she'll be eager for me to return and take the reins again. Perhaps. You've heard a tale of death and rebirth. We'll see, I suppose. We'll see. Play cards. Something to pass the time. 50 echoes. I'm not a big fan of gambling. Anyway. Compile a port report. A chill creeps down your spine. Even this is a risk. You are not welcome here. An aura of malevolence surrounds this place. You see no weapons, but feel targeted regardless. The eyes of London's foes upon you, always. The lone Ozao that you approach hisses at you and darts for a wall of decaying flesh, which it passes through without a sound. You should leave. Nah. Surely that the target remains. Are you sure this is a good idea? 26% sure, yes. What's at the shops? Ah, yes. Osean deck-mounted dog launcher. Osean aft-mounted dog launcher. Osean forward-mounted dog launcher. Guess what these use as ammunition? Star dogs. Far from dogs, but friendly enough if kept fed. I'll bet. Oh, finally, a place to sell off my jellied eyeballs, and for 61 echoes. Hot damn. Last I checked, that's the best price I'm gonna get for these, so... And I'm gonna get more pretty soon. So yeah, let's offload all of these. I'll keep one, just in case. Oh yes, we're rolling in it now. Anyway. Most Ozao avoid you entirely, but you come across an alcove not far from port, where one is willing to take your money. Zamet Irangel. The Ozao seem to think nothing of selling these, yet, for obvious reasons, they've never caught on. Woof. Grr. Bark. Pretty good damage. I mean, my current weapon does 10 and 8, and it actually deals crew damage, unlike this. Fair crew damage, this. And they deal stagger, which mine does not, which delays the enemy's attacks by... I'm not entirely certain how that works, honestly. It's kind of vague and inconsistent, but it's pretty effective. But every shot costs 1 Stardog, each of which costs 20 echoes, and needs to be bought all the way over here in Huars, I think? Heatful glowers linger after each exchange, which is a bit more out of the way, you understand, than, say, torpedo components, which cost half of that and can be bought in London. Not exactly the most easy of weaponry to fuel. Although they aren't that expensive to get your hands on. 10, 12, and 15 supplies. That could be as little as 120 echoes, or as much, or more likely 200 or more, which is a lot cheaper than buying a better gun in London. But are they a better gun, is the question. Well, I can't get my hands on them right now, either way, so... This mod adds a whole bunch of weird-ass new weaponries. Sunless Stories added a fair few weapons and rebalanced some stuff, but not nearly to the degree that this does. Bloody hell. Enter the Gushing Throat. Far above the dock, a hole inside of the dark god beckons. Every step you take inside of Zdargon increases the risk of losing crew and gaining wounds. Tread very, very carefully. Indeed. I can gain a couple of wounds, no problem, but I'm running dangerously low on crew. Don't know where I can get more crew anywhere near here. Besides London, obviously. Still, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Through the mouth of madness. Ozao patrol their territory constantly, but are too few in number to keep a vigil over the entire corpse. It's a simple matter to slip past them and into the vast neck cavity of the dead war god. Cracks in the shell allow the light of the false stars to filter down, illuminating a cavernous hall of blackened flesh. The alien floor slips and crumbles underfoot. The air is unspeakably foul. You're in enemy territory now. Don't forget it. Movement within the dead god. Where are the Ozao? The Gushing Throat. The Ozao have wasted no time in cannibalizing their god's flesh. Implausible formations of bone and skin have transformed the rotting neck cavity into a grand hall, decorated with red tapestries and war trophies. A central fountain bubbles black water that flows out across the floor and into the sea. We can't proceed unless we're part Ozao. Drink from the fountain. It is utterly rancid. The Ozao must get their fluids from somewhere. This may wound you. It will also enable you to progress deeper into Zdargon's remains. Oh joy. Just what I always wanted to be. Part Ozao. Sure, why not? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Those words will be on my fucking tombstone if I have one. Ta. Baleful brew. One mouthful is all you can stomach. The foul liquid stings acidly as you swallow, leaving behind a clinging, almost alcoholic burning sensation. Boils bubble up inside of your throat, then smooth out and vanish. There's a horrific growl, as your stomach twists, and something inside you swells and bursts, dropping you to your knees. Your eye twitches. One of your fingers lengthens, very slightly. When the sensation settles, and you finally drag yourself upright, you're a hair taller than you were before. Yes, drink of them. Drink deep. Ooh, +1 iron. Nice. Well, we can progress now. Or... and potentially wound ourselves again. Sure, why not? We've got 3 wounds. I'm using all 3 wounds. Transformative tonic. I think that's the same text. Another +1 iron. Sweet. We can do this 2 more times. Assuming we don't fail this both times. Fuck it. Another success. Another iron. Another part Ozao. Three in a row. Fucking A. Well, as concerning as becoming part Ozao probably is, 4 irons at the cost of just taking a single wound is a pretty good rate. Echoing Hollow or Violence Shrine? Sure, Violence Shrine. There's growling from this direction. Slip and slide. Oh, again. A seam of flesh splits and parts wetly at your touch, allowing passage through. You hold your breath and lead the way inside, squeezing through the decay. Lead the way inside? For whom? Oh, I guess my crew. Yeah, I guess they're here too if they've got a chance to die. You'll need a wash when this is done. The target needs Ozao awareness. Don't let this get too high. Okay then. Noted. 100 is too high, I would imagine. A set of 4 statues stand in the corners of a room lit by fatty candles. Each is impressionistic, carved from bone and still living Ozaean flesh. Still living? Several Ozao skulk the edges of the room, but growl and vanish into the walls as you approach. Still living Ozaean flesh. Are they even statues at that point? Or just Ozao of peculiar and stationary design? Examine the first statue. It wobbles. A tentacled queen. This statue is primarily lumps of putrefying fat, jiggling as you approach. That's their taste, huh? Big, beautiful women, so to speak? Long tendrils of flesh hanging below it trail down onto the floor. The plaque below it shows 5 crude depictions of jelly counts. Examine the second statue. It flaps. The Lord of the Skies. This statue is lifted high by bone struts. Delicate wings move up and down, pulled by nearly invisible living sinews. The plaque below it shows an arrow pointing up. Examine the third statue. It bristles. A glamorous princess. This statue is more abstract than the others, covered in long, glistening hairs. The plaque below it shows a map of a lengthy peninsula. Examine the fourth statue. It snaps. The indestructible king. A mighty bone shell covers his statue. Twin claws open and close in the air before your face. The plaque below it depicts a pair of dog-like creatures, facing one another. 4 statues. 4 creatures. This has something to do with the jelly counts. And we saw, didn't we, that there was some quality that capped out at 5, related to blasting those out of the water. This one, somewhere up, with delicate wings. Is that the tyrant moth, perhaps? The tyrant moth is always far upward, around that glittering light. Perhaps. And this, a lengthy peninsula, that's directly below us, isn't it? Or near enough. That's the only one I can think of. What was the image? Glistening hairs. The behemoth stashes! Of course. And the first one? Twin claws. Dog-like creatures facing one another. That must be the whatever replaces the salt lions. 4 creatures. One related to the jelly counts. One replacing the moth thing. One among the behemoth stashes. And one near the salt lions. Here within the violence shrine. That's a suggestive name. If I were to kill each of these, what would they think, I wonder? Onward to the beast's belly. There's a sound like drumming from this direction. Drums in the deep. Even more Ozawa awareness. Slip inside. That's the same, I think. The beast's belly. There's signs that this vast chamber was once packed with living organs. All that remains now is a dark, slimy heart that erupts from the middle of the floor. Meat too tough even for the Ozawa to strip down. Well, I know someone that might want to crack at what the Ozawa failed at doing. All around it, the ground is covered in a map of the Z, distorted and warped around the mass in its center. London is marked with a human ribcage to the west, while the Ozawa lands are laid out in black flesh to the east. Boats of bone are strewn about seemingly at random. Such a war room seems a tragedy in itself. It could not have existed back when the Ozawa might have actually needed it. Oh no, how tragic. These Ozawa sure are a morbid sort. I mean, at least the machine had the decency to hide it away. Wait. Black flesh. Wasn't the birthing room? That's a concerning... Well, they live amidst the corpse of a great beast of a god, and all their works seem to be flesh and bone. Curious creatures, to be sure. Witness a ceremony. The Ozawa are here, but why? Ooh. Critical updates. Ozawa rush in from all sides, shoving you aside without seeming to register your presence as they get to work. Bone boats are lifted and carefully repositioned across the map of the Z. Even an entire island is shifted several paces to the north. As you watch, a model ship decorated in the colors of your own vessel is placed next to an empty shell that surely represents Zdargon itself. Then the Ozawa flee as quickly as they came, vanishing into the walls on all sides. You make notes of the positions of the ships. Even if these prove to be inaccurate, the Admiralty will want to know that the Ozawa have an intelligence network of their own. Indeed. Oh dear. Cut a strip from Zitargan's heart. Just smelling it churns your stomach. The butcher will be delighted. And how will the Ozao react to you stealing their god's flesh? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe they'll respect my audacity. Maybe they'll laugh at me as I fail. Let's find out. Divine flesh. Much of the meat is hard as stone. You need to find an extra slimy patch before your heart will find purchase and cut through. You feel Ozaean eyes upon you, but the atmosphere is strangely calm. Do they approve of what you're doing? Maybe they do. What are these creatures? Heart of war. Don't look so disgusted. You are to feast on the flesh of a god. Speak to the half-Ozao mystic. A bloated shape with human eyes skulks at the edges of the room. Finally, a Londoner. The deformed creature shuffles forward, brandishing a binder of decaying pages. My report, it warbles. I don't know how to do a warble. London should know. London has to know. The Ozao, there. It beats furiously at its head for a moment. I can't go back. I spent too much time in the muck, and now I'm one of them, and they won't let me go. But that's how I know. The Ozao don't have leaders. If one knows something, all know something. And that's how I know I'm one of them, because I know what they're planning. Sharp, oversized claws grasp you desperately, pricking your skin. Don't let them reclaim the island, it begs. Don't let them reach London. If they establish a foothold there, the entire Z. To be human is not to be an Ozao. What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. And the Ozao have no secrets. Well, curiouser and curiouser. Meditate with the half-Ozao mystic. I've learned to resist the pull of the Ozao. I can teach you to remain human, if you can provide an anchor for me in turn. Prisoner's honey. Gain hearts. That's a rather expensive. For an extra surcharge, but with the bonus of capping out a lot higher than most. Fancy that. Well, I'm a little more concerned about the whole part Ozao thing now, but I still don't really know exactly what it means. The entire Z, he said. The entire Z what? Are they planning on assimilating everything into the Ozao or something like that? They didn't seem keen on forcing me to become part Ozao. If to be human is to not be Ozao, then what does it mean to be part Ozao? I don't know. But at least we'll be sure. Move onward to the animate armory. There's barking from this direction. More Ozao awareness. Oh, another ceremony. The animate armory. Enormous Ozaean artillery fills this room. Once, Zdargon's shell bristled with them. Now, it looks as though there are only a few remaining, left to decay after the god's death. The space around them is filled with napping Zdar dogs, the living ammunition for Ozao weapons. They eye you warily, but make no move to attack. Witness a ceremony. The Ozao are here, but why? Incubation. The Ozao enter from outside the shell, walking through the wall of flesh as though it were nothing. They drag with them long lengths of wood, enormous oars, rolled up sails, pieces of a recently destroyed Ozao ship, if you had to guess. All of this detritus they pile among the barking Zdar dogs, then exit the way they came, leaving one particularly large Ozao to squat atop the heap as a hen over her egg. You cautiously approach the pile. The Ozao atop it ignores you. An Ozaean flag, stained purple by their dark fluids, lies at your feet. Well then, movement within the dead god. We are getting dangerously chancy now, aren't we? Mingle with the Zdar dogs. They're at least not actively hostile at the moment. Woof. One of your crew tentatively approaches a smaller dog and feeds it a scrap of jerky. It chomps it down and nuzzles the sailor's hand. Captain, it's so cute. Can we keep it? Well, tastes vary, and the pair do seem quite taken with each other. Okay, I now have a single Zdar dog. Yay, just what I always wanted. I should come back here when I have some actual veils, and not 44. It's time to go. Long past time. Let's see if I'm ever punished, ever under any circumstances. Okay, back to the Echoing Hollow. Oh, haven't been there yet. Might as well see what's up there. On my way out. Oh dear God, another ceremony. Oh, this is gonna go poorly. Oh well, witness a ceremony. The Ozao are here, but why? A Zong of Zaro. Burly Ozao abruptly stream into the hollow, squeezing through both exits like paste. Like paste? And even dropping through a nearly invisible hole in the roof. Barely seeming to register your presence, to the tune of 20 awareness, they elbow you and your crew aside until you're forced to the edge of the room, backs against bone by the time the tide finally stops. For a time, they're eerily silent. The Ozao tangle arms and face the center of the room, their patterned flesh seeming to meld into one another. Then, without any particular one taking the lead, they begin to hum. A melody resonates in the chamber, tuneless to your ears, yet resonating in some way beyond the audible. By the time the broken, discordant lyrics begin, several sailors around you have begun to weep. It's impossible to know of what the Ozao are singing, their native tongue utterly alien to your own. Images spring to your mind regardless. A shelled war god, a destroying light, a vast emptiness and despair. The sounds and resulting images continue to echo long after the singing is done, even as the Ozao wordlessly turn about and file out of the chamber. Oh. Lovely. Oh, terror reduction. That's not going to miss. My goodness, my terror got high at some point. The entrances to this chamber are small, forcing you to duck to squeeze inside. The walls, floor, and roof are a thin weave of bone, like a calcified lung locked mid-inflation. Luminescent fungus, or what you hope is fungus, light up the room, with intricate patterns crawling across every surface. A set of large jars are scattered about the room. Investigate the jars. It's not like the Ozao to keep manufactured items. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, probably best not to bother with whatever the jars are, considering how dangerously close I am to 100 already. I think I can just about skate out of here without reaching 100. If I don't. Time to go. Oh, fuck. Of course it would give me exactly enough to reach 100. Of course it would. Well, so much for subtlety. Fight your way outside. Only a few more Ozao stand between you and freedom. You're so close. One last push. And... never fucking punished, even when I am. Ha! Into the free air. The sight of the Z just beyond a wall of snarling Ozao reinvigorates you. You lead the charge and burst through their ranks, sending flesh-warped beasts sprawling left and right as your feet leave the rank rot and land on sturdier wooden beams. The chase continues for some minutes after, but with you out of their lair, the fight is gone from the Ozao. Their angry barks follow you back to your ship, but they turn back before reaching the dock. Fucking A! Well, we don't let this get too high, my behind. Easy peasy. Well, that was certainly an exciting divergence, now wasn't it? I think I nearly died because I got too lucky there, but I didn't because I got even luckier. Funny how that turns out. And I come out with a Star Dog, a Vital Intelligence, another Strategic Information, which I can use with this other stuff, with the other one I had, and a Z story to make another Vital Intelligence. Light above dark water. The settling of scores. Sailors never forget. Lucky for you. A significant terror reduction. And an Ozao flag. Display your might to all who witness it. Alright. Even more irons to go with the 4 that I got from that. Good times, good times. That 4 may very well have saved my life in the escape. Although looking at our supplies, that might still be an issue. No, we can get at the human factory, and I think we can buy supplies and fuel. Mainly fuel. For a semi-reasonable price. At any rate, we might not be in the safest of positions, and we never really were throughout this entire episode, but we remain more or less unpunished as ever. You love to see it. So, until next time, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you're for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. Fuck you all so much for watching, and so long, suckers.